In the vast, snowy wilderness of the Arctic, a lone reindeer wandered across the frozen landscape, its body marked by deep wounds. The once majestic creature, known for its resilience in the harsh conditions of the North, was now in agony, carrying the heavy burden of barnacles and parasites that had infected its skin. These creatures, usually found in marine environments, had somehow latched onto the reindeer as it crossed frozen waters, leaving painful, infected marks that had weakened its body over time. The reindeer had been struggling for days, searching for food and shelter, but the infection had made it weak and lethargic. It was becoming increasingly clear that this beautiful animal would not survive much longer without help. Its condition was critical, and the wilderness was not kind enough to provide the aid it desperately needed. But fate had something else in store. A dedicated wildlife rescue team, trained to save animals in peril, received a call about the injured reindeer. These unsung heroes, experienced in handling wildlife rescue missions in challenging environments, prepared to set out on a dangerous and cold journey to save the creature. The team gathered in their base camp, equipping themselves with specialized gear, warm, durable clothing, medical supplies, tranquilizers to safely sedate the reindeer if necessary, and tools designed specifically for removing parasites and barnacles. Despite the freezing temperatures and the treacherous terrain, the team's determination was unwavering. They knew that time was of the essence. If they didn't act fast, the reindeer might not survive. After hours of trekking through the snow, following the faint tracks left by the reindeer, the rescue team spotted the creature lying motionless on the ground, its sides rising and falling slowly. It had lost a lot of strength, and its breath was shallow, but there was still a glimmer of life in its eyes. The team approached cautiously, knowing how sensitive wildlife can be when in pain and distress. One member of the team knelt down beside the reindeer, speaking in soothing tones while another prepared the tranquilizer. After a few moments, the reindeer was sedated, and the team began their delicate operation. They carefully examined the wounds, noticing that the barnacles were not only attached to the reindeer's skin, but had caused severe infections. The parasites had further drained the animal's strength, preventing it from moving or finding food. The team worked tirelessly, using their tools to gently remove the barnacles from the reindeer's body. Every movement was slow and precise, as they knew the risk of injuring the animal further. It took hours to remove the barnacles and treat the wounds. They cleaned the affected areas, applied ointments to ease the pain, and wrapped the reindeer in blankets to keep it warm. Throughout the operation, the team remained focused, knowing that the reindeer's survival depended on their success. Finally, as the procedure came to an end, the team allowed the reindeer to rest. They watched over it as it slowly regained some of its strength. With the barnacles and parasites gone, the reindeer's breathing became steadier, and its body no longer appeared as frail. As the day turned to dusk, the reindeer was slowly waking up. Its eyes blinked open, and for the first time in days, it seemed more alert. The rescue team, though exhausted, was filled with hope. They knew the reindeer was not out of the woods yet, but it had a second chance at life. The team made sure it had enough food and water before preparing to leave. The next morning, after a full night of recovery, the reindeer stood up on its own. Slowly but surely, it regained its strength, looking around the snowy landscape. It took a few tentative steps, then paused, glancing back at the team. The moment felt like a victory. The rescue team stood by, watching as the reindeer, now fully recovered, turned and began to trot off into the forest, its head held high. The team watched the majestic animal disappear into the wilderness. They had given it a second chance at life, and they knew that the reindeer would return to the wild, where it truly belonged. With smiles on their faces, they packed up their equipment and made their way back to base, knowing their mission had been a success. For the wildlife rescue team, this was just one of many stories of compassion and dedication. But for the reindeer, it was the beginning of a new chapter, one where it could roam freely, strong and healthy once again.